Oh yeah, we are live. Guys, here's the deal. It's been a little bit here. I am using, you might notice the video quality is a little bit better. Okay, welcome back. I am using my Canon M50 for this live feed. Pretty sweet. First time I've ever done it. Usually I'm looking at this computer right here. Let me show you. Computer, that. There's Dora sitting over there. But I have been able to hook this camera up. So I just realized that Canon has released a driver, so I can run this as a webcam. I've been doing this on my PC for about a month now, and they just put it out for the Mac. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. Looks like we already got a couple people tuned in here. Sorry, I'm going to be kind of looking this direction. And if you give me a I'm still getting used to this thing, so hopefully I think the audio is still on the computer. Is my audio, if you guys can, if somebody's out there and give me a comment and let me know if this thing's working okay. This is the first time I've set this up. Let me know if the audio is working okay. It looks like the video quality is far better than the webcam, obviously. Get good focus here. So, all right, as you can see, we are back at home, and we just got back from a couple of weeks up in Idaho, and we have I didn't do a lot of filming up there in the last couple weeks. I did a little bit. You guys saw the property walk around, I think, if I posted that video about a week ago, I believe. So just kind of showing you what we were up to, what we're thinking about doing, and some small updates on that. I've been trying to get a hold of contractors and various people to do things. It's we've done a lot on our own, but there's a lot of things up there at this point that if we're going to do anything big, I'll have to consult the experts. I know my limits. And right now, I don't know if you guys, wherever you are, I don't know if it's crazy busy in the housing market, but here it's just going nuts. So it's really hard to find, and even and up there as well. But it's hard to find contractors, and it's hard to find people who are able to do stuff right away. So you have to plan pretty far out. So we are in contact with somebody to hopefully look at the property in about a month. He's going to be able to get up there and look at it and see if he can do some excavating, clear out a pad. And we're kind of in talks with that. So if money permits and that type of thing, we'd love to put a well in. I wrote those guys about 3 weeks ago, haven't heard back. So again, it's just, that's just one of those deals. They're just so busy that, it's just hard to get a hold of people, especially with the summer months coming. But, we're not on any strict timeline, but we are, just trying to track down things that we can get done. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are you guys doing all right with the with all the protests and stuff? We've been going back and forth between Oregon to Idaho, and around here, there's just been massive amounts of protests everywhere. And I have friends who work in Portland. I don't, I've been working from home, and I don't work in Portland normally, thank goodness. But we have friends who work in Portland, and they said it's just crazy down there, and just completely vandalized and everything. So that's kind of sad. But we've been, like I said, spending as much time now up in Idaho as possible. So that's been pretty fun, to be honest with you guys. And I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. I mentioned before, if you've watched any of the latest videos, that's been kind of a green light for me to go and work up there, play up there, whatever you want to do. And I can bring my stuff up there and down here. It doesn't really matter. So that's opening up a lot of possibilities for us. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff on our minds. So yeah, how are you guys doing? I don't see a whole lot of people. Thursday night, looks like there's a couple people tuned in. Kind of slow tonight. We'll just let a little bit, just kind of let some people trickle in here, maybe say hi. And no real agenda tonight. I'm out here because it was like the first nice day we've had in the last 3 or 4 days. So really nice evening. But man, this camera works so much better. This is going to be great. Great for live feeds. I'm pretty excited about that. It's so much clearer than these webcam things that you got on the computer. So yeah, not a whole lot on the agenda. What do we got? Videos planned. Like I said, I've been kind of slowing down on the videos. Like we've been just kind of digging in and day to day doing work. Just trying to keep up with that, and tracking down. A lot of it's been behind the scenes. Like I said, tracking down stuff for the property and just seeing if there's anything we can get done this year or this summer at all. And I don't know if that's going to be possible. So we'll do what we can. I got a couple projects I need to do some videos on. I did this front suspension on Mrs. D's Sequoia, and that was a big pain. But I got to do the backs, I got to do the rear brakes, so maybe I'll do a little DIY on the brake / rear suspension shock absorber installed. The whole suspension on that vehicle is pretty shot, so we're going to be maybe doing a little video on that here pretty soon. Man, I tell you what, Toyotas are nice. I like Toyotas. They are reliable. They seem to work really well. But man, doing suspension work and engine work, it's not even like my BMW. The BMW is really easy to work on, but the Toyota is no fun. I did a timing belt, water pump, all the bearings in that same vehicle over the winter, and man, that was a job. Wow, it was doable, but I had a very limited amount of time to do it, and I didn't film it. I didn't feel like filming it. It went pretty good until the very last second. It was the last thing I was putting on. It was the idler bearing in behind the timing belt, and the person who was there before me had stripped out the bolt that held the idler in, and it was insane to get that out of there. So I had to helicoil it, drill it. What they had done, I'm hoping it wasn't the actual Toyota shop. I know that vehicle was brought into the Toyota dealership for everything back in California with the previous owners. I don't think the shop did that. That was bad. I think there was a guy working on it for the dealership that we bought it from, and I think he just put a timing belt on it, and I think he stripped it out, or it stripped out, and then he just put what looked like a bunch of Loctite in there and just cranked it in there. So I mean, we averted, we missed a major disaster by fixing that. But wow, that was a pain. So I don't film a lot of DIYs on that Toyota for that reason. Usually it gets into some pretty in-depth stuff. But maybe we'll do one on the shocks. What else? There's another thing I was going to tell you. I've been doing a lot of chainsaw work at the property. I have a big pile. In that last video I did, I showed you that big pile of logs that we have up there when we had the property cleared a couple of years ago. And RG Homestead, what's up, man? Hey, I've been seeing you've been posting some videos lately. Right on. Good to hear from you. How's the weather down there in Arizona? Is it good? Bad? Cold? Probably hot. Most likely hot. But we've been having to do a lot more wood cutting than normal. So I've been really wanting for a long time. I've been wanting one of those steel MS 261s or 260, but the 261s are pretty cool. We don't get into a lot of big wood up there. It's I would say you're talking 15 inches or less. I mean, the trees on our property are pretty young, so I'm really thinking about getting one of those MS 261s and getting rid of the Farm Boss. Okay, good. Caden, what's up, man? Hey, I hope Big Blue's treating you well. Yeah, awesome. Good. Well, okay, good. Just kind of seeing what the comments are doing here. But we're doing a lot more wood cutting. So I think, having something with a little higher RPM, a little more reliable, that might be kind of fun. So I might sell the old Farm Boss. I've had that Farm Boss for like 8 years. I really like it. It works really pretty good, but it's just kind of big and chunky and a little bit, I could use a little bit more horsepower on that stuff just because I need to get through it quick. So Mrs. D lets me get one for Father's Day. That'd be kind of fun. So I'm thinking about doing that anyway. So I think that would be a good investment. And plus, it's a pro saw; it'll last a lifetime. Farm Boss is a great saw too, but it's just big and heavy. And I mean, weight for me out there when I'm cutting a lot of wood is big. I'm not like a big, super big logger guy who does this every time. So weight for me, if I can get a lighter saw and I'm getting after it, Yeah, oh, RG. So you're going to be a bad influence. RG Homestead, that's a cool idea to get one. I think so too. And that's a bad influence. Well, that's a good influence, isn't it? Let me turn up let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit before it goes all grainy on you guys. Nice thing about having a DSLR camera, you guys are just showing up. I have my DSLR hooked up as a webcam, and it's phenomenal. Well, I think. I don't normally, I don't look good on camera, but maybe I could fuzz it out a little bit more. That'd be better. Yeah, 261. That'd be a great purchase. So I'll see if I can sell my other one. I'll sell my Salt the Farm Boss. And I've also been having a little bit more problems with that little 180. The 180, MS-180, the small guy that I was telling you about. I'd use it for, doing small work and limbing and that kind of thing. It's been having some issues and it runs really good when it's cold, and it runs good through a whole tank of gas, no problem. And then when you shut it off and it's hot, if it's really hot, and especially if the weather's hot, if it's hot out and you shut it off and you turn it back on, it bogs down, hard to get started again. I don't know what's going on with it. I thought I had that fixed with the carburetor rebuild. Don't know. I've heard something about the boot on the front of the carburetor that gets worn out. I have one of those. I could try putting them on. They're kind of tricky. So maybe I'll try that before I give up on it, or it might just be getting worn out. I've used that saw a lot. So if you guys have any recommendations on a small, I like a small saw, maybe even a top handle. Top handle might be kind of fun, right? I'm not I don't climb trees to limb, but I think just having something real compact, something we can throw on the side by side, real short 14-inch bar, something like that, 12-inch bar, might be kind of fun. So I think that would be a nice upgrade. MS-261, 18-inch bar, and then something really small. I don't know, something nice. The prices on those things are just all over the board. So what else is going on with you guys? You guys doing well? You guys staying away from the all the bad virus things going around? Yeah, RG Homestead says it sounds like it's just getting old and you need a new one that will last a long time. I agree. Well, it's a bummer about the 180. That's one of my favorite saws, that little 180. And they're not that expensive. I think you can buy a 170, kind of the same thing, for about $150, $160 around here. So I don't know, but if it breaks all the time, I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty old saw too. I got it secondhand. It's always run really good, but just recently it's just been acting up. So I don't know. We did a lot of cutting with it though. This last few weeks, I didn't film any of it really, other than what I showed you on the last video. But I was helping my father-in-law do a lot of brush clearing, and that thing got used a lot. So it's going to be I don't know what's going on with it. I just watched the show going on and see the news. Treat the top subject better than the good. Yeah, it's comedy. Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I go back and forth. How serious is this whole thing? You have to be kind of careful how you talk about it on YouTube. I'm purposefully not saying. You guys know what we're talking about. Sicknesses, right? The sickness. Purposefully not using certain terms. They don't like that. I don't really know why. They don't explain why, because it's, I think, controversial, even though I'm not really being controversial about it. Whatever. But what do you guys think about it? I think it's just kind of sad, watching a lot of these businesses kind of struggle and go out of business. I know a lot of guys who are, a lot of people who are struggling with it. I mean, luckily, what I'm doing right now has been a blessing. I mean, the industry that I'm in is seeming to hold out pretty good. That's really good. But I know a lot of people who are struggling. It's pretty, it's pretty tough. We are even considering, I don't know if I should say this publicly, but we're considering homeschooling next year, just for the simple reason that, are we really scared of it? Not really, but there's so many rules now with schools, and some places are not going to open already or whatever. It just seems kind of weird. So we're thinking about that. We're thinking about it. Mrs. D, would like to send them. We'd like to send them to school, but if it, the good news is the good news is I'm working from home, like I said before, and if we're doing homeschooling, we can go up to the property now in the fall and the winter again, like stay up there for a little bit. So I see it as a win-win in some way. In some ways, this thing's been really kind of, I don't want to say fun. It's also kind of nerve-wracking, but what's been going on has been very, very good as far as for us, as far as being able to work from home and do some of those things that I've always wanted to do. So it's been really, for me, it's been great in many cases, other than the stuff that's going on. Yeah, being retired. RG. I got a little ways to go. Wow, but that's a good place to be. How's the camera working out for you? Well, right now, so far, I'm on the. So right now, if you just tuned in, RG, and the rest of you guys, I am now using, instead of the webcam, I'm using my Canon mirrorless M50 that I got a couple months ago. It's working great. I mean, finally Canon put out a driver that you can use it as a webcam. It's fantastic. I've been using this thing for work as a webcam, as a secondary webcam for detail stuff, because you can get up here and focus on things really close. It's awesome. So I'm really happy. As far as Canon, this is the newest camera for the YouTube channel. Oh, the camera. Sorry, I mean, he was talking about the camera on the cabin. That one's working great so far. I'm actually still getting pictures from that flawlessly. But that's the other thing. I was just talking to some people up there about getting real internet hooked up at the cabin too. Again, money, time, all that, setting it up. And if we did that, we could have like some sort of webcam up there, which would be like a live shoot. We could probably put one of those video ring cameras on there, which would be kind of fun if we had full-time internet service. So again, that's all available. It's just money and time. So, but no, I was talking about this Canon M50 that I'm using right now for the channel. That's the latest camera, and I'm kind of 50-50 on this camera, by the way. I really wanted to like this thing, but I just shot a video for you guys tonight at the garden with the old G7, the one that I've had on the channel for probably 3 or 4 years now, and it's honestly pretty good. The old G7 is pretty good. This thing's a little bit weird with the color, I think. Maybe I just don't know how to use it very good, but yeah. The property can't, yes, that would be cool to have internet up there. He says, yes, internet. If we can get real good internet up there, guys, that means I can then work full-blown remotely up there. We can do it sort of with like a hotspot up there, but like we do a lot of video conferencing for work, so it's not that great. It's not great. So have you loaded up that one? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means. If you loaded that one up. No, we still haven't set anything up yet with the internet. It's going to be a little bit. Yeah, we want to see. We have a friend who lives up there part-time, and he's going to show us. Oh no. Oh, loaded up the garden. No, I have not loaded the garden video. That will be going up probably pretty soon. It's just a short clip. Spoiler alert, guys, if you guys are watching live video, almost an epic fail on the garden. Like we got the potatoes, nothing else. Everything is getting eaten by slugs and snails, and I don't know what's going on out there. It's been really bad for us as far as the garden down here. Kind of expected that because we're trying that new method, you know, with the wood chips or whatever, the back to Eden thing. And we just expected it to kind of, it hasn't mulched in. So maybe next year, the year after, it'll be better. But yeah, no, not good. The potatoes look good. There's potatoes coming up. So that's about the only thing we're getting. And then D2S Dad has a few things growing out there too, but his stuff is struggling as well. So you never know. For farming, gardening, you just never know. The garden out here, check this out. I'll show you this real quick. That little garden, that little guy right there is doing great. Look at that. I mean, you can't beat that. Little herb garden, pretty nice, huh? That's pretty cool. So we've been using that for salads. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Oh, a bus for you. Yeah, I've heard this. With several people around the area that there's a lot of, I think it's just been a wet spring. It's not working good. It's not working good. What else? What else we got? I'm going on 20 minutes, rambling, ranting, doing whatever. I don't have a whole, like I said, don't have a whole lot to say. Just want to say hi to you guys, see how you guys are doing. I'm a little tired. We're all a little tired. Long day, long week. You know, actually, a buddy of mine at work passed away this week, so kind of bummed out, kind of sad. You know, I don't know what happened really. If it was a sudden thing. I don't know. Don't have any news yet, but he was a good guy. Kind of miss that. I'm gonna miss that guy. So maybe a little more subdued tonight. Getting darker. It's getting darker. I'm trying to bump it up before it gets really grainy. It's gonna get grainy on me though. It's not bad. Bump up the ISO a little bit. Here we go. Well, guys, I think that's going to be all for me tonight. I'm going to be posting. I have a couple of videos. I do have another video from up on the property. I talked too much. Mrs. D and I were sitting in front of the fire on our anniversary. That's kind of fun. I talked way too much, and she corrected me on that. So you guys can correct me on that too. But we had a little fireside chat up there on top of by the fire pit. So that'll be kind of a fun one if I can get around to posting that and a little clip of the garden. And we'll be out there in the next couple of days cleaning it up, and I'll see if I can plant a few more things. Maybe we can do kind of a late crop. You know, that now that it's getting warmer, that might be all right. So we'll see what we can do as far as that goes. But that's about all I have for you guys tonight. I'm just excited to try out this new equipment, see if it works. Obviously, this is great. We're going to be doing this more. This camera's working awesome. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. Keep us all in your prayers. We need it. And see you guys in the next one. Talk later.